What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is I, Randy, with RTS Mobile Gaming, bringing you another fantastic Sea of Conquest video today. In today's video, we are going to be showing you an interesting debuffing build I've been testing for several days here on the RTS Mobile Domination, okay? This is a 6-ship combination. We'll also be talking really quickly about the sponsor for this video, GemZ, so get excited. But first, let's go ahead and kill this Mega Kraken who I fought the other day. I actually was able to defeat him one time. I was able to destroy this 75 million power Mega Kraken, but he has defeated me several times since then. So we are going to now try and take our revenge on him after making a few tweaks to the build with our gear sets. We'll talk about the actual build in just a minute. So he is a 76.8 million power. His power has gone up. Level 43 against my level 40. He's got the strategic damage bonus skin. Okay, so let's see what happens here. Now, the goal for this build is to, like I said, debuff the enemy significantly. We're going to lower the enemy's impact while having high armor and high defensive capabilities on my own ships. Ooh, did I just lose my Orichi right off the bat? Oh my goodness. That is not a good way to start this grudge match. That looks like some bad luck, ladies and gents, but we're still kicking. We're still putting out some good damage. Still trying to bring the pain. That was less successful than I was hoping. Let's go ahead and take a look at that again here. So we were able to kill a little bit, but like I said, I lost the Orichi pretty early in the battle, and that is one of my biggest damage dealers here. So let's try this again. Alright, I'm back. Sorry, my bunny was chewing through some things he shouldn't have been chewing through. So, that was a good attempt. Let's go ahead and take another swing at him, and maybe RNG will not be against me. My Orichi has a threat reduction on a skill, plus Griffin's threat reduction. I really should not be taking much damage early in the fight on my Orichi. So, let's see if this actually plays out more in my favor. Sometimes the RNG gods are against you and there's nothing else that you can do. And it looks like we are neck and neck with the damage. I just saw some impact debuffs go out on the enemy. I'm seeing a ton of damage. He is pulling ahead in damage against me. But we're still kicking. We've got one minion down. We've got a few more minions at low health. All it takes is one big Adeline crit to zero some of those guys out. And unfortunately, we were not able to come away with the win here today, folks. We will be doing more build tweaking here, but obviously having this 8 million power deficit is something that's noticeable, okay? So we have made some changes to the build overall, but let's talk really quick about the sponsor for this video, GemZ. If you have noticed this fantastic spinning wheel of gambling fortune here in Sea of Conquest, you may have also noticed it currently has the strongest ship bonuses in the game. This is the Night Curse flagship skin. This is going to give you incredible cutthroat damage bonuses. Even when it's equipped on your flagship, it's going to apply those cutthroat bonuses to your entire fleet. So, this is a must-have if you are a whale or up. Now, if you are going to try and get this, it is going to cost you anywhere from $200 to $500. Maybe you'll get lucky and pull it with $20, but I've seen people pull it at $200, some people at $500, and some people even more than that. If you're going to spend that type of money on this game, you should probably use GemZ. Okay, click the link in my video description below to join their Discord. They will save you a ton of money. Okay, instead of spending $500, you'll spend closer to $400 for that same amount. It can save you a ton of money. Check it out for yourself and see if you like it. Thank you, GemZ, for sponsoring this video. Back to the content. Alright, folks, we are back. Let's dissect this report in great detail. We didn't do too bad considering, like I said, this 8 million power gap. We did pretty good. He's got more, almost 200 more supply than me. He's got, very, very comparable maxed out heroes. I've got a lot of maxed out heroes. He does have his navigators unlocked for his 4th position here. And overall, this is certainly a good opponent to be fighting and testing things out in straight clash. He is a tough one to beat, and I'm getting closer and closer. I beat him once or twice, and he's gotten over on me the last 4 or 5 times. So, the way this build works is it does a disgusting amount of strategic damage early in the fight. You are triggering both Delilah, okay, to activate the Griffin ultimate a little bit earlier. In addition, Delilah is hitting 5 targets with her ultimate right off the bat. So between her ultimate and Griffin's ultimate, that is 10 strategic damage instances plus another 5 from Griffin's sub-skill. Now we're up at 15 damage instances. And then we get Molly in here, and after Molly triggers her ultimate, another second or two goes by where her basic attack deals strategic damage ticks, and next thing you know, wham, you got another Griffin ultimate. So you are able to fire off a ton of ultimates from your strategic ship super early in the fight, giving you a ton of damage output, okay? Next, we have our biggest damage dealer over here on the drowning ship. Okay, and it came in second in this fight, but this is the biggest damage dealing combo available in the game right now. This is the Titus Slade First Mate, just added. I posted a video about him a few days ago, paired up with Adeline. They have incredible synergy. Now, I don't have the new captain yet. He is coming in a few days through the knife throwing contest event. But so far, Titus, Slade, and Adeline have such incredible synergy that their damage is unreal. And something to note, as you already know, Adeline's damage is AoE. She hits 5 targets on the field. Titus Slade is doing this kind of damage to 1 target. Okay, so that is an incredible damage dealer. And we'll go through the actual ship build in about 3 seconds here. All right, next we're going to talk about the Cutthroat build. This is also a solid damage build. Yes, this is the OG meta that we're talking about. It did pretty well, but it was out-damaged by that drowning setup, right? So that drowning setup has something to say. And next we have the artillery ship. We are currently using Chizuru, even though I prefer Sharky. However, as you can see here, Chizuru does put out a hurtin' on these folks. Okay, and having this Chizuru plus Ricky combo is really, really powerful, along with the splash damage basic attack ultimate on the artillery ship skills. Finally, the last minion we have to talk about today is going to be the Tanaka combo with Cordelia and Wanda. Now, this is not a Vargas Fury Stormbringer. We'll take a look at that in about 1 second here, but just compare his damage output to some of these higher damage ships. Okay, he did almost as much damage as Chizuru, and he is on a heal support ship with heal support heroes and 2 healing and support trinkets on the build. Okay, using Fury of the Storm set, 2-piece to get some attack bonus, but essentially this build slaps hard. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the actual ship by ship. This will be sort of an overview for the flagship, the Ahab OB Magnus combo using Sacred Guardian. This is going to be super powerful. Sacred Guardian is going to give you bonus aggro and shielding, as well as HP and armor. Really the best set for your flagship in the game today. Okay, Obi is going to be using his trinket. I did mess around with putting a different trinket on Obi, and I decided that Lion's Roar is great. Even if you don't have a max refined Lion's Roar, you can still have an unrefined Lion's Roar that still gives you fantastic armor and still gives you a huge amount of shielding. So unrefined, the Lion's Roar is also incredibly strong. Refining this trinket is actually not very efficient for the bonuses you get compared to some of these other trinkets. Okay. From there, let's go ahead and take a look at the Warhammer. Again, this is a high damage output Warhammer. It has incredible cutthroat damage skills, 9% cutthroat damage here. This is going to be 24% cutthroat damage at the end of the day, so now we're at 33. Then another 14%, that gives us 47% cutthroat damage and 6% attack between all of these skills. Plus, we are using Same Old Trick. This is going to copy the highest damage skill in the fight and is going to deliver a ton of pain on your enemy. I actually prefer Cost of Strength for the Warhammer. I have Cost of Strength on my Randy character, but the RTS Mobile character does not have Cost of Strength for a ship ultimate. I'm trying to craft one now. If you have one, it would be a slight upgrade over the Same Old Trick. Okay, Blade of Freedom is going to be your weapon of choice here. Depending on how many crit trinkets you have and what your level of, goldfish to whale to kraken level is, you may end up using a critical rate figurehead instead of a critical damage figurehead. They're both fine, but the critical damage is going to be a little higher damage output. However, if you don't have the second crit trinket, you probably have an attack trinket on, which is going to give you a different type of bonus. So it's not quite a one-to-one, but they're both good setups, okay? The Orichi, this is what I was talking about. The Orichi is using the Annihilation bonus. I love this bonus for the early damage in the fight. Having compared it to Head-On Wallop, Head-On Wallop is, I would say, a tiny bit better than Annihilation because it triggers so many additional damage bonuses. However, Annihilation is incredibly strong because it is going to give your ships just a nasty, nasty damage bonus, okay? So 30% damage bonus from Annihilation. Plus, we have Enhanced Armor Piercing, giving us attack and impact. And already on this ship, we have 2 heroes giving us impact. So this is going to really put our impact up towards the 7,000 range at this current stage. Next, we have Stealthy Maneuvers. Now, this is something I've been testing out for a few, I'd say a week and a half or so, and I will give a shout out to Prelex because he also mentioned this to me. This is something that's interesting that we're looking at, but essentially this is going to combine with Griffin's aggro reducing ability. Reduces by 40 here. If I reduce it by another 28, that is 68 less aggro on my ship. I really should not be getting globaled by people with their basic attacks. Ever early in a fight. Should be really hard for my Orichi to die, okay? And last, I have the Art of War here. I simply need to re-roll this. I've been trying to re-roll this into something better, so that is on my to-do list, all right? But yeah, there's other, I'd say probably broadside is what I'd want, you know, get another 6% attack and 10% critical strike damage. That is probably going to be the best in slot thing I can get for this setup. Trinket-wise, Griffin's trinket is best in slot, hands down, refined or unrefined. It is the best trinket to put on Griffin. It's going to give you, at max refinement, over 70%, almost 80% bonus strategic damage once the stacks are up. Okay, it gets 8% damage, it stacks 5 times. This is a monster. You're not going to get the full stacks in a short fight, so if I was really building this build to win straight clashes, I would put a crit trinket on Griffin to really make sure I can maximize the critical effectiveness of this ship. However, with just one critical strike trinket and with a crit damage figurehead, I am still able to get myself over 100% critical rate. So you can still be incredibly effective with one critical trinket on. As you can see, I'm using a Spyglass on Molly, okay? Blade of Freedom is going to be the set of choice here, especially if you have a second aggro reducing skill that's on your ship, because Griffin should make it so your ship doesn't take any damage early on in a fight. That's going to give you time to kill the enemy without getting instantly murdered by somebody, okay? All right, so on to the artillery ship. Now, this is some of the changes that I made today. I switched around the gear. I was able to purchase one Fury box from the Gang Mint coins. Okay, a level 35 piece of Fury gear here. And I was able to win, after being outbid about 10 times, a sale in the Fury of the Fury set for my gang auction. So now I'm able to equip 2 ships with this setup. I have the Goddess Sajit and I have the Stormbringer. Oops, sorry, the Goddess Sajit and I have the Crimson Sentinel using this 2-piece Fury, 2-piece Guardian combo. This is my favorite ship part combo to use. Okay, and I'll tell you why. First off, you're getting 20% attack from Fury of the Storm. You're also getting incredible stats because it's a higher item level than the other pieces of gear that are available in your respective season. All right. And I'm getting critical resistance and reduced critical damage received, plus some HP and armor and straight attack from using the Sacred Guardian set, okay? So this is actually going to mean that my critical strikes hit harder than with using 4-piece Fury, because normally your figurehead would just be a critical rate. Instead of having critical rate on my figurehead, I'm able to boost the stats for the ship with having higher attack. Bunny, what are you doing, Bunny? That is going to put us at 311,000 attack power on this particular ship with still fantastic crit stats. 129% crit rate, 217 crit damage, and a little bit of crit resistance and lower crit damage received to boot, okay? It's also, like I said, going to boost my HP and armor significantly, making me a much, much tankier ship than previously if I was running full Fury. Okay? The Stormbringer, this is running 2-piece Fury just because I want to get higher attack to get more healing, and 2-piece Yamadas. I am going to be running with fantastic armor and high HP due to using 2 support heroes with a support trinket on Cordelia. Okay? And also, the 2-piece Yamada, 2-piece Fury is going to be 20% attack. The 2-piece Yamada is going to give me 10% HP, making this an incredibly tanky ship that doesn't generate much aggro. But what it does do is debuff the enemy ships, okay? When they receive damage from Tanaka, they have a 10% chance to have their impact reduced by 48%. This is going to really play into my slightly tankier fleet here and make the enemy ships do dramatically lower damage. When they're dramatically lower damage and I have higher HP and armor due to using this 2-piece Fury, 2-piece Guardian set, they really offer great synergy to each other. It's fantastic. And finally, the Crimson Sentinel, the biggest damage dealer here. You may be wondering why they're on the Crimson instead of on the Stormbringer with Varga's Fury. Well, that's because I wanted to run this impact debuffing setup. This is something I'm testing. I'm enjoying it so far. It really does make a noticeable impact when it procs, okay? And as you saw, this combo is able to do pretty good damage being on a level 40 purple ship, okay? It is able to really bring the heat. So Barnacle works fantastic here. He actually gives great synergy to Titus and Adeline. The new captain looks like he might be slightly better, but I'm not going to know until I get him. However, Barnacle himself will add drowning damage on basic attack. After the ship does so many drowning damage taking on water debuffs, he is going to deal a large AoE to 5 ships, a nice damage boost right there. He's going to be debuffing the enemy's ships, okay? Boosting his own attack and debuffing the enemy ships to lower their rage by 200 every 10 seconds, all right? And that is just going to be absolutely fantastic and really limit, again, the enemy's damage. This is a debuffing build, right? Like I said before, you have Barnacle debuffing with anti-rage. You've got Tanaka debuffing with anti-impact. If you wanted, I have run 4-piece Fury on the Stormbringer just fine, and then you're doing armor penetration as well. I just don't have enough Fury pieces. If I had 4 pieces of Fury to put on the Stormbringer, plus the 2 and 2 for the Goddess and the Goddess and the Crimson, that's what I'll be running today. So those are life goals. I'm going to try and get 2 more pieces of Fury. Like I said, I'm going to need a sail and a helm, and then I can run an armor debuff on this setup as well. That would be 3 different debuffs we're applying, okay? So, it's a really, really powerful build. It offers a ton of synergy. It offers a ton of survivability. I have 3 ships here that have have relatively tanky setups with their gear. We have 2 ships that are much more glass cannon here, focusing on crit, attack, and crit damage. And the flagship tying it all together with a ton of survivability and damage redirection with Obi. Okay, so that is the setup for a 6-ship build. Here in Season 4, this is the build I have been trying to get to for several days. I finally won the gang auction house this morning and was able to equip this gear. It's really fantastic. Like and subscribe. I love you guys long time, and thank you again to GemZ for sponsoring this video. Randy, out.